All right, welcome to Buy or Buy. Today we're looking at one of the most extreme, most powerful road cars Porsche has ever built, the 991 generation 911 GT2 RS. Now this is a machine that is absolutely defined by its numbers. So let's just jump right into the one that started it all. So, back in 2017, Porsche takes this car to the Nürburgring, and what does it do? It laps the track 9.7 seconds faster than their own $1 million 918 Spyder hypercar. Yeah, you heard that right. Just let that sink in for a minute. So Porsche literally built a car that completely humiliated its own flagship, sold it for about a third of the price, and somehow the 918 owners didn't start a riot. So what is this thing really? And more importantly, what's the catch? Okay, let's deconstruct this legend and find out. We're going to start with the engine. I mean, it's the heart of the beast, the thing that defines this car's absolutely insane character. So at its core, you're looking at a 3.8-liter twin-turbo flat-six. But, and this is a big but, it's so much more than just a tuned-up engine from a Turbo S. Porsche basically re-engineered the whole thing for pure performance. We're talking bigger turbos, larger intercoolers, and get this, a unique water spray system, a first for Porsche, just to keep the intake air cool. That is the secret sauce for making massive, reliable power lap after lap. And this quote, it just nails what it feels like to be behind the wheel. With 553 pound-feet of torque on tap from just over 2,000 RPM, you never wait for the power. It's just there. It's this one relentless, continuous explosion of force all the way to the 7,000 RPM redline. All that power gets sent through Porsche's 7-speed dual-clutch transmission, the PDK, and only the PDK. Now, look, I know some purists wanted a manual, but let's be real. They're the same people who would complain the loudest when that manual transmission grenaded itself trying to handle all that torque. For this car, this super strong, lightning-fast PDK was the only choice that made any sense. And yeah, the GT2 name has always meant rear-wheel drive. So you've got nearly 700 horsepower going straight to the back wheels. That Widowmaker reputation from the older cars, it is very much alive and well right here. Trust me, this car will get your attention. That record lap in 2017, that was just the beginning of the story. First, Lamborghini beat it with the Aventur SVJ. Then, Mercedes came along with the AMG GT Black Series. But in 2021, Porsche came back with the dealer-fit Manthey Performance Kit and took the crown right back. This car's story is all about dominance. But, being a champion, that comes at a price. So let's see what it actually costs to live with one of these things. So we've established the car is an absolute legend, no question. But owning a legend, that's not cheap. And here, my friends, is the catch we've been looking for. The running costs are, well, they're intimidating. Okay, let's start with the stuff you're going to burn through. One single set of the super sticky Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2R tires is going to run you about $5,500. And if you're actually driving the car like it's meant to be driven, you'll be buying a new set every, 3,000 to 5,000 miles? Ouch. And that amazing PDK gearbox? It's a masterpiece, but it's not invincible, especially if you're hitting the track. A clutch pack service isn't something you do all the time, but when a hard-driven car needs it, you could be looking at a $7,000 bill. You ever get that awful scraping sound going up a steep driveway? Well, in this car, if you scrape that beautiful carbon fiber front splitter, that could be a $10,000 mistake. Every single exotic part on this car costs a fortune. And what if you have the optional and frankly must-have Weissach Package with those beautiful magnesium wheels? If you damage all 4 of them, it could cost this much to fix or replace. That is $6,000 per wheel. And now for the big one, the real wallet killer. A full refresh of the standard fitment Porsche carbon ceramic brakes. They stop you on a dime, they're incredible, but when they finally wear out, the replacement cost is it's catastrophic. So on top of those giant, scary expenses, you've got the little stuff that'll drive you crazy. The infotainment system is known to just freeze up. The 12-volt battery dies for no reason, both of which are honestly just embarrassing on a car this expensive. So it really begs the question, with costs this insane, why on earth would anyone buy this car? The answer is simple. Because you're not just buying a car, you're buying an appreciating blue-chip asset. Yeah, the running costs are high, but they're really just the price of admission to own a true piece of Porsche history. I mean, just look at this. Unlike almost any other car you can buy, these have not depreciated. No way. In fact, they have shot up in value since they were new. What started as a $300,000 car can now easily be double that, depending on the spec. And here's why. Porsche was originally only going to make 1,000 of these, but demand was just off the charts, so they made about 1,580 for the entire world. That scarcity is real, and it's the #1 thing protecting this as an investment. And when you compare it to its rivals, it's really in a league of its own. The Lamborghini SVJ, it's all V12 drama, but it's not as precise. The McLaren 720S might be faster on paper, but it kind of lacks the soul, and, well, reliability can be a thing. The GT2 RS is the thinking person's ultimate track weapon. Okay, so we've weighed the absolutely legendary performance against that, let's be honest, terrifying list of costs. It's time to make the call, the final verdict. Is this car a buy or a buy? Oh, this is a buy. An absolute 100% unequivocal buy. There's no question in my mind. This is one of the all-time greats. And it really is simple. The depreciation is basically zero, or even negative. The supply is permanently capped, and its reputation as a Hall of Fame legendary Porsche, that is locked in forever. Now, if you're actually going to get one, there are 2 things you need to know. First, the Weissach Package with all the extra carbon fiber and those magnesium wheels, that is the collector's choice. And second, the Manthey Performance Kit is the ultimate upgrade. It turns a legend into a certifiable god-tier machine. Look, get one if you can. Seriously, they are not making more of them. And as the world inevitably moves on to hybrid and electric performance, cars with this kind of raw, unfiltered internal combustion fury, they will never, ever exist again.